Steve, because every time we wanted to do that, and now he's not here.
I would suggest, being that we're in the throes of the budget season, that we do this year what we do every year, and then after the season, we set some ground rules for next year, saying certain size budgets don't have to come in or something. I just kind of feel like it's kind of late.
We did talk about that. We'll wait till Steve comes back and see
Yeah,
what he wants
I
to
mean-
do.
I think that's a discussion.
Can we have one at a time talking, please? Go ahead, Bill.
I was just saying, it just feels like because everybody's coming in and presenting, and they're probably already, practicing in front of the mirror
Prepared.
and everything. I agree that smaller budgets shouldn't have to come in. I just don't know that there's enough, I don't know that we can come to a consensus now with Steve out, and with the fact that we got to approve the schedule tonight, and setting those ground rules for what threshold do we say comes in and what threshold do we say doesn't come in.
Yeah, I don't know that we're
That's
prepared
not
to do
my
that
understanding. My understanding is, and that's why we'll have the discussion, that we're gonna do what we did last year in terms of hearing all the budgets like we've traditionally done since the beginning of time. The philosophical question is, which the board can decide after they hear all the budgets, is to either suggest an amount that goes back to the Board of Selectmen for them to decide where they think they should cut, or we open and close each budget and make cuts. And then they'll know whatever secretary of recording fee taken away from the planning and commission. I tend to like to go through each budget to get an idea how the spending's going and things like that. It's a question of what the board wants to do, so I think we should wait for Steve. But it doesn't preclude us. We need to listen to each budget, and we should,
Okay, so here, Jim?
Yes.
Secretary, Adam Secretary.
Righto.
The only issue that I have with waiting until Steve gets back is I don't believe he's gonna be here on Monday for this meeting. And now we have
Oh, I didn't know that.
maybe 12, like a dozen, departments that are going to come and present to us.
But
So I think we need to decide tonight. Do we open, deliberate, and close on them and decide? Or do we wait?
And we wait.
Well, we don't deliberate when they present.
We don't
They
present, we
just
don't open
present
and
and they
close.
give
We
us
don't
their
close.
budget. We listen to what they're saying. We deliberate at the end.
Do you know
Yeah.
I make this mistake every
It's
year?
okay.
Yeah.
We all make
It's
mistakes.
not over and done with, just to have someone present.
right, you're
We
right.
Keep it fluid and open.
Okay, and some of these will go quicker than others, and I think given how close we are to this, like you were saying, Bill, that we don't have a lot of time to regroup. I propose that we keep this schedule the way it is. Each department can come, say what they need to say to us, and then at the end, we can wait till Steve comes back and decide collectively, when we're all together, how we want to render our
But just
decision.
one note that I guess, a department head has the right to go and try to get a second opportunity to go in front of the Board of Finance, whether we want to see them or not. It's their right. So, in addition to deciding who we want to hear and who we don't want to hear, the department heads and agencies also have a right to come in front of us, and that's their right and not ours to have them waive for them. I just wanted to
they'd
point that
become-
out.
So they'd become optional if they wanted to present.
Well, if they're not upset, they won't be here. If they want to make a point or talk about something, they have the right to address us
Right.
and be heard.
Okay, so let's look at this proposed meeting schedule. We already approved March 14th and March 17th. We need to approve the 21st and so on, 23rd and 28th.
I think that was the problem. The first selectman is away, I think, on the 21st and the 23rd. So as what I remember at the last discussion, we were going to talk about taking whatever on the 21st and 23rd and moving it on to additional days, maybe moving it on the 28th, adding some on the 28th and adding the bulk then on to the 4th.
No, 30th.
What, 30th? Was there another date then? Okay. March 30th? Okay. So adding some on, what I recall is adding some on March 28th and then putting the rest on March 30th. So you wouldn't be meeting at all if we went along with, and I think it's important to have the first selectman here, we wouldn't be meeting at all on the 21st and the 23rd, is what I recall.
All right, Anna, can you verify
Karen,
that?
is that what you remember?
Do you know when he's not here?
That's correct.
Okay, great. All right, so the 21st and the 23rd are days when Mark cannot be here. So we need to find, I need my little calendar. I guess we need alternate days.
Can I get a calendar for you?
I got one on my phone. don't I?
28th and 30th.
I do.
Yeah, so that goes to the 30th. But one of the things that he said is because of the groups tend to be small, we may be able to put more on the 28th than what we had.
Yeah, they're all.
Right, the 28th are all really short ones.
Putting
So it's-
both days on the 28th?
No, maybe not
Maybe,
both days,
But, yeah, fair
instead
amount,
of adding
I
2
agree.
new days, add 1 new day and consolidate
That's
everything
it.
else on the
Yep.
28th.
I agree.
As
All right,
much
what did
as
we
I'd
just
like to
say?
be here with you all.
So,
I know.
All right, could we just do one at a time here, because my small little brain cannot process more than one voice at once. So could someone make a suggestion about what they just said, because I wasn't fully engaged?
can we combine all of the 23rd, all the departments going up before us on the 23rd with the 28th, and make that all on the 28th? And move March 21st, all of those budget presentations to March 30th? A simple swap out of the date for March
Well, how come,
21st to the
Karen?
30th?
That sounds make sense to me.
All right, so you're proposing, let me just, March 21st goes to March 30th, and March 20
Third
Third
gets combined
gets combined to the
with
28th.
what's on the 28th.
What was that?
Oh, so
Why? Okay, let,
Because
can,
we had requests from Ridgeway Health, but they couldn't make that, they're pushing them where he can't go.
Well, where can he go?
Which day can they make?
well, if I may, it looks like everyone that's on the 21st, if we can see them on the 28th, the departments that are on the 23rd, if we can see them on the 30th, and then what about the 28th? What was the thought on that? I don't understand.
All of the 23rd, right, went to the 30th,
23rd will become the
okay?
30th.
And then the
21st will
21st
become the
got
28th.
split.
All right, so you
The
lose
planning,
21st.
inland wetlands, zoning, and ledge light, that first group, and animal control and services to community, because they're
Confused.
small. They got merged in with the 28th. And then ledge light, Niantic, Flanders, and emergency management wound up on the 30th with the town clerk, library with the 23rd people. Because those groups aren't that terrible. So that was kind of how we moved it, so we could merge them. Because you've got heavy hitters on a lot of that you can't.
heavy hitters where, on the 21st?
Your heavy hitters are your Niantic Fire, Flanders,
Yep.
emergency.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you're
yeah.
proposing just moving all of that to the 28th?
Not all of it, some of it.
Some of it.
Okay, what do you want on the 28th? What was the,
The 28th will keep what it has, and we're gonna merge planning, inland wetlands, zoning, ledge light, animal control, and services to the community.
planning,
Okay.
inland zoning, ledge light,
In
animal
addition
control,
to everything that is on the 28th.
yeah.
You're saying move those to,
28th is the quick one. The only thing that's rough on there, that last one, I think is your CNRE, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's right.
then what's the next piece of the plan?
The 23rd is moving all of it by itself to the 30th.
Okay. And then what about the remaining on the 20,
We're gonna move the Niantic Fire,
Flanders
yeah,
and emergency to when?
that's gonna be last before general government. Without being there.
So that's gonna go to
The 30th.
30th.
the 30th.
But the general government was on the 28th.
Right, general government was on the 28th. Did you mean the 28th,
We're
Karen?
gonna move that down, we're merging the 21st there, so we have to create the 30th.
So the bottom line
You know,
is.
send me whatever it is in
Yeah.
the end.
Well, the bottom line here, what I think we need to know is, everything is gonna move from the 21st and the 23rd
Just
to
forget that
the
week.
28th and the 30th.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we don't
Right.
need to know what's gonna be what
Yeah,
night.
you
As
can
long
let
as
us
we
know.
can be
We'll
here.
figure it out. We'll-
The folks that are coming before
You
us
know
need to
who's
know.
coming and who can come.
Barring,
No.
if I may, barring, our only problem here, what we would, Ann and I both talked about, is that these people are used to this for like many years now, these dates. So I'm hoping when we get to these departments, they'll say, oh, I can't come that night, because that could throw another thing in.
But we also need a motion to approve it, right?
You need to, a motion to approve
Yeah.
these dates, these
Yeah.
meeting dates. So now you're gonna get rid of the 21st and 23rd.
Okay, so we don't have to approve which groups go which night?
No, you're
Okay.
approving
Okay.
meetings, special meetings for the
Okay.
28th, the 30th, and then the 4th, the 13th is not a special meeting, and the public hearing on the 25th.
And then you guys have the power, if somebody's not available for that night, to move them to the other night?
Then I just have to keep filing an amended agenda before I get it to you that shows where they moved to.
Okay.
Okay, so,
And I need approval for that Tuesday too, as long as that's good for you guys for the mill rate. That very
So
last-
everything in dark you say can't move needs to be approved.
Tuesday the
Also.
30th.
Well, yeah, except for the town meeting, because that's not in the April 13th is a regular meeting. I just left it to delineate, but those are already approved. The annual town meeting is set by charter, and the 13th is already set in your schedule of meetings for the year that I filed in December or November,
Okay.
because
So-
that's a regular meeting.
So do we currently have an approved meeting for the 21st and 23rd?
No.
No.
So I don't
we,
have
we
to-
That was
didn't.
why we have to, yeah.
So we don't need a motion to cancel those 2 nights?
No,
Okay.
because everybody's been yelling at me, they didn't see this thing yet, and I said,
And
"No."
they're gonna yell about you something else.
That's what
I'm just gonna throw out there, if we need the 31st, the next day, if we,
If you do, you can.
I'm
have it.
available. That's the, right, that's the Thursday.
Okay,
But
Should-
you could set that up easy, because that's a special meeting, it's 24 hours.
Okay.
Mhm.
generally speaking, like there's.
Okay, so what I'm hearing here is we need a motion to approve the meeting nights of the 30th, the 28th, and the 30th.
The 28th, the 30th, April.
April 4th.
Oh, 4th and
4th,
April 13th.
April 25th,
And
and
May
May
9th and May
31st.
31st.
I don't know if we do May 9th, do we? No. Okay.
You didn't
But the
say April
31st.
13th.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Yeah, you heard it.
From whom?
Well, so move whatever you
I
said.
couldn't, who said it?
I'd like to make a motion to schedule a meeting on March 28th, March 30th. You didn't mention April 4th.
Well, we need to.
Yes.
That was my oversight.
April 4th, special meeting. A regular meeting on April 13th. And then the,
We don't need that one because it's already scheduled as a regular meeting.
The 25th, right?
okay,
The 25th
25th.
okay.
Public hearing on the 25th.
and 31st.
Then the public hearing, we don't have to schedule, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
We do?
Yep.
We have
Then I would like to
yeah.
also do that.
Okay.
And the
And you wanna
special
meet on the
meeting
31st?
After the public hearing. Did you see that? There's also a
Yes.
okay.
And a special meeting after the public hearing. And then
All right.
on Monday, the May 9th,
No,
Twenty-
don't do that.
that's the one that's already there that we don't
It's
have
in
to do?
the charter. We'll do the 31st.
Okay, and then May 31st, a special meeting at 6:30.
It sounds good. I'll go along with that. Second.
Thank you, Bill.
Nice job, Bill.
Thank you, Jason.
I can read.
Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by,
review the whole thing again? No, I'm only kidding.
It's okay, I got notes.
please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you, Karen.
You're good.
We have a meeting Monday?
We have a meeting Monday, March 14th.
All right, probably by Thursday I'll have all those agendas for you, so just give
God, I just realized that.
me by Monday.
Oh, I gotta reschedule something. Okay, our next item for old business is a special appropriation for $16,005 for CNRE Fund 32.
We're not doing that until they come back with their,
That, we
We
just
already
got the
discussed
update
that.
that,
We did?
we received an update that the
That was the
RFP went out and we're waiting for.
Oh,
Second
I'm sorry.
proposal.
I didn't make the link. Is there any discussion from the public? Mr. Schultz? Mike? Thank you.
Yeah, Mike Schultz, Lovers Lane, East Lyme. There was a comment made about the Board of Education regarding their revenue. I would hope that the Board of Education would be fully transparent on all of their revenue that comes in, because their revenue is always going to be spent, and it's going to have an impact on the cost per student, which also has a reflection on Salem's cost. And Salem's getting away with murder. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any other folks from the public that wish to speak? Sir?
Gary Lukowski, 12 Methodist Street, Niantic. I'd like to thank the board for voting or agreeing to hear from all the different boards and commissions in the town. It's very important, especially us with smaller budgets, believe it or not. It's harder to operate on a smaller budget than it is a larger budget. So I'm very glad that you are all going to be willing to listen to what we have to say. Second of all, I was interested in your discussion of sending things out for bid and things like that. Just a couple of things that the town can piggyback on is the state contracts. Mm-hmm. Most of the wholesale places that have state contracts do piggyback. Most of the municipalities in the area on those piggybacks, especially for lighting and plumbing and tires and things like that the towns need. So you might want to look into, from the state, who has the state contracts for all the different supplies that your town uses, and take advantage of that discount. It's already been a bid process, and believe you me, I know it's a very tight process.
Thank you. Comments from the board?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
This is as high as it goes. I think you're talking about the procurement list, which is a good thing, a pre-approved state contractors and bids, and that's a good thing. That's what we use. And in terms of what Mr. Schultz was referring to, my understanding is it was the first time this year that the Board of Ed was able to see all the revenue accounts, and that's in there. So that's something new, so, and transparent. So having all the accounts, being able to see where they are and what they are and who they are all together. That's what I heard.
Other board comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Okay.
Thanks. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's the end of our meeting. Thank you. Good night.